get up in,
Sir, you're
South
mistaken.
Atlanta.
You're mistaken.
Okay.
There are not 10,000 cops in Dooley County. It is by mandate that they must have 18,573 on the road at any one time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think every
You vastly underestimated Dooley County.
Yeah. Yeah, Valdosta was out in force yesterday, but it was it's an easy trip, especially on Labor Day. It wasn't bad at all. But yeah, I mean, I've struggled and they still have construction right there in Henry County, and that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, right there as you get to the Granger outlets and the Atlanta International Speedway and everything, right around that area, it's all construction again.
Yep.
So, was successful Dragon Con for you guys?
Yeah, it was a whole lot better than we could imagine. We typically draw right around 3,500 to 3,500 donors every year. This year we drew, I think it's going to be a little bit over 2,500 donors, which is really incredible. I think considering, at the start of, if you would have asked me that on Wednesday or any day before Dragon Con, I would have said I'll take it because of just the uncertainty, right? I don't think anybody really knew how people would respond, and it was a successful con. So it was pretty good. It was half of what they normally have. I think it was more like 40% of what they normally have, but it was incredible from our standpoint.
I'm glad it was a success for you guys. I knew that it was something that y'all were. It's one of those things that you circle every year on the calendar. And this year, even though you'd circled it and you knew it was something you were going to do, you had a lot of uncertainty and a lot of what ifs going in. So I'm glad that it came out good for y'all and for society, because without what you guys do, without the dedication of the hundreds of people that work for Life South throughout the Southeast, people would perish. So we appreciate everything you guys do.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it was a good trip. It'll take me probably till this weekend to recover it. We'll go from there.
So, biggest surprise of the weekend, I know you probably didn't get to watch much, but biggest surprise of the weekend to me was I still can't make up my mind whether Florida State's pretty good, unbeknownst to me, or Notre Dame's way overrated.
Well, two things, and I did watch 90% of that game, got back to the hotel, caught everything after the second quarter. Two things that I took away. One, they hired the right guy, right? Norvell had his players ready to play, and they looked like more like the Florida State of old compared to the previous guy, who I may never mention his name again, because I get this bile in my throat because he was so bad. That was one. Number two, boy, was Doak Campbell rocking. My son was at the game.
It was like the 1990s again. It was like the 1990s.
Well, it was the first sellout in 3 years. First sellout. Think about that. That guy, his name starts with a T and ends with a T, that coach.
Yeah.
He couldn't get a sellout because he was so bad. And then COVID hit, right? So you couldn't really judge Norvell last year because, let's just be clear. I mean, an incoming head coach dealing with all that practice, all of that. I thought Florida State on Sunday night looked incredible. I think their defense is back. I think Notre Dame is good. After watching kind of what Clemson did, and I know people say, well, they're not in the ACC. They play an ACC schedule, people. So I think Clemson is way down, and I think Florida State's got a chance of winning the ACC this year. How about that?
Oh, wow.
How about that?
Hot take.
Well, and then you got in the –
because Miami's pitiful. Miami's terrible.
Oh, they look terrible.
They look bad.
And you look at what Milton brought, and his story is just nothing short of miraculous.
Look, and the kid, when they put Mackenzie Milton in, people go, and I hear people talk about Mackenzie Milton, the big stage at Florida State. Mackenzie Milton's been on the big stage. He took a team to an undefeated record at UCF and won a bowl game. Okay, this isn't some podunk kid that just fell off a turnip truck. This kid knows how to play football. He just had his knee ripped into 3 different directions with bones sticking out and a kneecap patella went in the back of his knee. It was one of the save Joe Theismann. That may be the most gruesome injury I've seen a quarterback suffer. And here this kid is Sunday night competing like his leg is as good as it's ever been.
Well, 2 things. One, if the doctor hadn't recognized what happened immediately, his leg would have been amputated.
Right.
Because he realized the artery was choking it. The only reason he knew that is because he was a surgeon, right? An orthopedic surgeon. So that's pretty incredible. And 2, he came in and what was it, 3rd and 14 or something? He threw that beautiful ball over the middle.
Just
like
perfect. Like it was nothing.
And again, one of the things I love about sports is you get stories like this, and I think Gene Tessitore, the announcer, kind of overplayed it, but it was hard not to. When his mom's in the stands just bawling her eyes out, just because her son.
Nobody thought this kid would walk again. This kid, there was a chance he couldn't walk again.
And again, if the guy doesn't miss that extra point or that field goal. But he did make a 47-yarder, 43-yarder early on. So I thought it was a great game. Florida State showed a lot of fight being down by 18, roaring back. Their running backs are really good. And you know what also is back? And they haven't had this in a long time, that big play ability.
Right.
Florida State hasn't had that kind of big play. And granted, it came from the running backs. I think they've got a staple of running backs that can be very, very good. And that O-line is a run first offensive line. I think they're going to be okay.
Is McKenzie?
Their schedule gets easier, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if Florida State ends up in the top 25.
Is McKenzie Milton though? Is he your starter going forward?
That's a big question. I think it is, and because we have the injury now for Travis, and the only thing he could do is throw the deep ball and run. He could not read a coverage to save his life.
No, not to save his life. And they were running, there was a cover 2. One time a couple times they ran cover 3. They ran cover 1 a couple times. They ran man quite a bit. He couldn't recognize what they were in almost every time. The field from 5 yards to 20 yards was unattainable to him because he couldn't read what they were doing.
Yeah, and I think Notre Dame. I think their quarterback could be he could be one of the top quarterbacks coming out in the draft this year because it's kind of weak.
What was your biggest? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the real shocker for me was Oklahoma-Tulane.
Well, that's what I was going to add. I was going to say we're going to go to break. But before I go to break, I want to ask you what your biggest shocker was and tell everybody when we come back because we're going to do a tease. But I guess we'll just talk about Oklahoma-Tulane when we come back.
I'm out of practice. I took a day off.
I understand. We'll do that next. You listen to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. Galen Unall from Life South. He joins us every day. Brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call, 352-854-6262. That's 352-854-6262. We'd also like to thank Just Shipped. They flipped the script in shipping. Used to, back in the day, you had to package your package, take your item, put it in a box, package it up. You went and stood in line at the post office or the UPS store. You not only did you spend valuable time doing that, you spent money doing it as well. Well, Just Shipped gives you your time back, which saves you money. They come and pick your item up. They box it up for you. They package it up for you. They do all the standing in line at the post office and the UPS store, taking your time and giving it back to you. And time is money, so they save you time and money. JustShip.net for more information. And, of course, Penn Flooring, they're a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solutions for your flooring needs. They owe every bit of their 30-plus years of success to unrivaled customer service. They specialize in both commercial and residential flooring. Go see their amazing showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, or give them a call, 352-351-3420. Once again, we'd like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and Just Shipped for sponsoring. Galen Unall stopped by from Life South. Galen, you said your biggest shock was the Oklahoma-Tulane game. Oklahoma, supposed to be the second best or third best team in the country, they didn't look like they should be in the top 25 in this football game.
No, and again, I mean, and let's think about what Tulane had to do, right? They missed, I think, 4 days of practice last week, had to move the game to Alabama to play it, right? The University of Alabama said, yeah, come use our field, which I thought was pretty classy.
Oh, I thought they moved it to Oklahoma. No, I thought they moved to Oklahoma.
No, they played in Alabama. So that the Green Wave could still play.
Well, I thought the Green Wave was put on the Oklahoma field.
Okay, well, is that what it was? All right, because I was half watching it. I was working at the time, so I could be wrong. I thought they moved it to Alabama.
No, they played it at Oklahoma, but Oklahoma put their stuff on the field. You put their made the Tulane field.
Well, that made it even worse. Then that makes it even worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, they were at home.
Terrible show. I've thought Spencer Rattler was overrated ever since he was on that Netflix show QB1. And I don't, they're like, oh, he's the next guy in the rotation, and he's the next Baker Mayfield. No, he's not. He throws some really, really terrible balls, makes some really poor decisions. I don't think he's very athletic. I don't think he's got a very strong arm, and I think the Green Wave of Tulane really exposed him yesterday or Saturday.
I thought that Oklahoma did not play well. I thought that they may have looked past Tulane, that it was just going to be a walkover. And some of these games happen, but when it's on TV like it was and everything, it's not a good look. And they're going to drop. Do they drop out of the top 10 though?
No. But here's I'd have to break it down. But here's the reason why I don't think that's viable on the first game of the year. It's the first game of the year.
You're right.
It's one of those you look. You know this. You played the sport. You know what it's like. You count down to the green wave, right? You're counting that down. That's why you're lifting doing an extra rep of weight because of the green wave. No, I think that's a pretty terrible excuse because they didn't finish the game strong. You know, I mean, they were. I think that's a poor excuse.
You know, the game that I was really, really surprised by. I thought North Carolina would handle Virginia Tech pretty easy. Not only did they not handle Virginia Tech, they lose to Virginia Tech by 7. And I thought this would be the year where Carolina would start showing that, yeah, Mac Brown's back, and we're actually going to make some noise in the ACC and you know, start moving up towards the top. And losing this game in the fashion they lost it, Virginia Tech, had a beat. And by the way, speaking of Virginia Tech, can we just say that they probably have one of the 2 or 3 best entrants and musics? Enter Sandman, the team comes on the field and everything. Is that not one of the best entrances in all of football?
Well, it is when they're winning. There's 2 that I think are better. One is if you don't think that Renegade with Chief Osceola on top, throwing the spear down, then you are just your hatred for Florida State is just completely makes you unwilling to have this conversation.
Oh, 100%.
It is the best.
100%.
It is all of sports.
You know,
he throws down the spear and declares war.
Yeah, it's juvenile. It's juvenile. It's terrible. It's a stupid thing to do. It's dumb.
All right, number 2.
Oh, that's my hatred for Florida State coming out, isn't it? That's my hatred for Florida State coming out, isn't it?
Absolutely. Number 2 is South Carolina. If you've ever been in the stands at South Carolina, when they're doing their thing, it's incredible. Number 3 is Blacksburg, and that's what I was going to say about that Carolina game. Let's hold up, because those Vaught Tech fans, that was a raucous crowd.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that helped Virginia Tech a lot. And I also, by the way, think that played a major role in that Florida State game. So don't underestimate the crowd, especially in college football, because these kids haven't played in front of a crowd in over 2 years. You know what I mean? When you can hear the guy,
You're right.
You can hear your dad in the stands telling you, you got to step to the left or whatever. You know what dads do?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When you can hear them doing that, and now all of a sudden, all you hear is just that whether it's the chop, and it was so good to hear the tomahawk chop again. My son sent me a video of the crowd, and it was a proud moment. You raise your child right, and they figure out that they want to be a Seminole, and from now on they're a Seminole for life. That means you did something right.
Look, but I see the tomahawk chop every night, pal.
It's like saying the Chiefs have the tomahawk chop.
No, I see it every night.
Fakers. Yeah.
What do you mean fakers? We've been doing the tomahawk chop in Atlanta since the 80s.
No, that's a lie.
No,
By the way, that is an out lie.
I've been doing the tomahawk chop since Bob Horner. We did the tomahawk chop with Bob Horner and Dale Murphy. I was in the stands doing it.
Oh, so here it comes. You're one of those brave fans. We started it. Florida State stole it from us.
No, I didn't say that. I have no idea where it started. I have no idea where it started.
Came back. Deion Sanders brought that to the Atlanta Braves.
No, it was with the Braves the whole time. But I don't know who started it. I don't care who started it. I'm just telling you, you can do the chop every night if you want to. You just got to convert to a Braves fan.
Be better.
That's all you got to do. If you want to do it every night, convert to a Braves fan. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I'm telling you.
Be better than that.
That's all I'm telling you. Hey, by the way,
just watch the Chiefs.
Do you know the name of the song that they do the tomahawk chop to?
No.
It is, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. It is called Cherokee. That is the name of the song.
Okay.
And do you know how I know this?
Because you're a trivia geek.
Well, that and West Nassau High School in West Nassau, in Nassau County, Florida, Callahan, Florida, where I'm from, the West Nassau Warriors, which I'm proud to say I was a member of that football program. We have been doing the Warrior, the Cherokee chant and the Warrior chant since as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, they did it at West Nassau. That's been our fight. That's been the band fight song in all at West Nassau since as long as I can remember, 7, 8 years old. So, but the song is called Cherokee. See,
Right,
I
there
teach
you
you
go.
something. Teach you something.
Thank you.
Teach you something. Hey, so I learned what I learned. What did you learn? We got about 2 or 3 minutes before we go to break. So I'm gonna ask you this question and we'll answer it on the other side of the break. Give me 2 things you learned about the overall football world, the college football world, after week 1. I have 2 things I learned after week 1. I have 2 things that I learned.
Ratings?
Well, I did see the ratings. I did see the ratings.
You should look them up. That's what you're going to learn.
I
Go
did
ahead.
see the ratings.
I interrupted.
No, but I mean the actual football games. There was 2 things that stuck out to me. The ratings were amazing, though. You're entirely correct. We've been starved for football, and and not somebody says, yeah, well, they played football in 2020, but did they really? Because even though there was football, there was a national championship crown and everything, it wasn't football like we know. This is the first football that we've had since 2019 that's actually the football we understand, where stands are packed and the pageantry's back and the tradition. Last year was 2020. There was no tradition. It was an anomaly. So this is, to me, football's back the way it's supposed to be. And that was that. I think everybody in the country, no matter where you were, you felt that over. And it was such a long weekend because it was over the Labor Day weekend. You got it Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. Hey, that game last night, Mississippi State looked like world beaters. Ole Miss looked like world beaters last night.
They did. I love Lane Kiffin. I think he's an underrated coach.
He's the Donald Trump of college football. He's very good at what he does. He's very good at what he does, but all people can gear in on is what he comes out of his mouth and he puts on Twitter.
That's fair.
He's the Donald Trump of football.
That's pretty good. Hey, I will tell you, who hates these ratings is the NFL.
The NFL, of course they do.
Because the NFL, their ratings have been tanking year over year. And now, college football has their best ratings in 25 years.
Yeah. NFL didn't like that at all.
And they kept saying, well, it's because everybody's streaming. Oh, it's because everybody's cutting the cord. Oh, everybody's going online. No, sir. No, sir.
Nope.
I think it has, as Trump would say, you go woke, you go broke.
Yep.
And guess what? College football is not woke.
No, sir.
Right?
The college campus
It's
may
just
be,
not.
but the football isn't. Hey, we got to take a break. We'll be right
it's
back
not.
on this timeout, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.